Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
A scary scene at Los Angeles International Airport when multiple buses go up in flames. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
We're tracking strong wind speeds here in the valley and through the Grapevine. I'll have the details in just a bit.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here at 23 ABC News at 8 a.m. We have team coverage this morning for strong winds across Kern County. We're going to start things off with 23 ABC's Miss Emma Lockhart in studio with a look at the wind advisory and reporter Austin Westfall, who is live in Northwest Bakersfield. How's it going out there, Emma? It looks like it's really picking up.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that radar. We're still tracking those strong winds here in Bakersfield, 19-mile-per-hour winds. Now, that wind advisory here in the valley will last until 10 a.m. this morning, and we are tracking a high wind warning for areas of Frazier Park through the Grapevine. That will last until 4 p.m. this afternoon. 18-mile-per-hour winds right now in Lebec, 24 in Tehachapi, 11 up in Lake Isabella. Now, let's take a look outside. You can see that cloud cover outside ahead of that storm that will be impacting us later on this afternoon. We're looking at those rain chances starting around 3 or 4 this afternoon. 67 as that temperature right now, 13 degrees warmer than it was at this time yesterday. As for those temperatures across the county, we are looking at 43 in Frazier Park, 46 in Tehachapi, 49 in Lake Isabella, and 39 out in Mojave. So some weather headlines for you to be aware of. That storm, like I just mentioned, reaching us later on this afternoon. So wet and windy conditions are expected. And then we're looking at that high wind warning at the Grapevine lasting through 4 p.m. this afternoon, and then we're tracking another storm midweek. So I'll have more details on that in just a bit, but I'm going to send things over to 23 ABC's Austin Westfall with a look at those strong winds. Looks like damage out there right now. Austin.
Winds are still kicking up here in Northwest Bakersfield, Emma. I want to give you a look behind me. This is a massive tree that fell down here in Northwest Bakersfield. Right now, we are on Clemmer Street, and neighbors tell me that this tree fell down about 20 or 30 minutes ago. They said it was a loud noise, loud crackling noise. There's actually some natural gas escaping from the ground as a result of the tree falling down. The Kern County Fire Department is on scene to take care of it. We just saw a PG&E vehicle roll up as well, but according to the National Weather Service, our area is experiencing 15 to 25 mile-per-hour winds with gusts nearing 35 miles per hour. These are the types of winds that can cause large trees like this to go down. One other thing I want to mention too, we are seeing a lot more gunk in the air. There a lot more gunk than normal for sure here from my perspective here in Northwest Bakersfield. Authorities say it's also going to be tricky to be driving out there, especially in the high wind impacted areas like the Grapevine and the north facing slope of the Tehachapi Mountains. Now the National Weather Service says other areas that may be impacted include but are not limited to Bakersfield, Lamont, Arvin, Edison, Mettler, Shafter, and Wheeler Ridge. Obviously you want to stay safe if you're outside this morning. Things like this tree coming down would happen, or if trees are staying up, the other thing you want to look out for is branches that may be falling down. There's all kinds of debris. We've been seeing tumbleweeds going into the roads. One thing I did see when I was driving over here is I saw some dogs running in the street. One thing you might not think about is when these high winds are blowing, you might want to make sure that the latch on your gate and your back door is closed because those animals may get out. For now though, in Northwest Bakersfield, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And with this high wind advisory in effect, debris may impact power lines as well in your area. So far, PG&E has been reporting different outages scattered across the Bakersfield area, including in Southwest Bakersfield near the 58. You can see just around 27 customers are impacted by this outage. It still is unknown whether or not the debris is to blame for this outage. Now, there was an outage earlier today. This morning we were tracking that, but that has since changed, and this website updates just about every 15 minutes. Make sure that you are keeping an eye on your area. They do say that shortly after our show, power is likely to be restored in these areas in Southwest Bakersfield, but we do also want to see your pictures. Make sure you send us any damage in your area. You saw 23 ABC's Austin Westfall out there in Northwest Bakersfield. And as you can see, our viewer sending us this picture of a tree into a car. This is something we will likely see throughout the morning. So make sure that you share it with us on our website as well as our Facebook page so that we can share it with our viewers as well.
Okay, check out this video from that fire that broke out last night at Los Angeles International Airport. As you can see, this large plume of smoke unfolded shortly after 9 p.m. at LAX Airport. Officials say the fire burned two passenger buses at the airport. The flames also caused some damage to a third bus parked nearby. No one was on board any of the buses at the time. There are no injuries reported at this time. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Winter is here, and Kern County Fire Department says structure fires are on the rise. Local fire officials have some helpful reminders in light of some of the recent house fires we have been seeing.
It's been a busy month for Kern County Fire Department Public Information Officer Andrew Freeborn and his team.
As soon as the weather starts to cool, we start seeing a spike in other types of calls. We start seeing more structure fires. We start seeing more calls for carbon monoxide fires.
Since Friday, county fire officials say 3 elderly people have had to be rescued from their homes that caught fire in East Bakersfield. The cause of both fires still undetermined by fire investigators, but officials say there was a common denominator in both blazes that could have helped alert residents sooner.
That they had, in fact, installed fire alarms in their home, smoke alarms in their home, but that they weren't alerted to any form of smoke or fire in their home by these smoke alarms.
Officials say this is why smoke alarms need to be tested every month.
Almost all smoke alarms have a button that you could simply press and hold, and it'll go through the different alarms and the beeps, and you're able to see, okay, yes, it is in fact working.
But Freeborn says there are other key factors playing into these types of fires during this time of year.
It seems that anywhere from 1/3 to half of all fires that are attributed to a decoration come back to candles. So candles are a significant source of fire starts throughout the United States. So by taking a couple of precautions with candles, making sure things aren't near your fireplace, these are going to help reduce the chances of a fire starting in your home.
Freeborn says space heaters should also never be covered or close to anything flammable. And he says don't leave it on while you are not at home. But he says there are a few ways you can safety-proof your home, stay proactive and warm all at the same time.
Don't leave fires unattended. If you have a fire that's burning in the fireplace, make sure it's out before you go to bed. If you have hot coals from the fireplace, when you dispose of them outside, put them in a metal trash can of some sort that only has ashes, something with a lid, and make sure it's away from the home. And that way, if something does catch fire, it doesn't spread to your home.
I'm Tori Cooper for 23 ABC News, connecting you.
During this busy holiday travel season, CHP will be in its maximum enforcement period starting next week. This year's Christmas enforcement begins at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve and will end at 11:59 p.m. on Christmas Day. During that time, all available officers will be on the road to assist any drivers who need help. According to CHP data, at least 16 people were killed and nearly 350 others were injured in crashes involving impaired drivers throughout the holiday enforcement period last year. And the Bakersfield Police Department has released the results from a DUI and driver's license checkpoint that was held last night on Ming Avenue. 828 drivers were screened and 2 drivers were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. 27 additional drivers were cited for license violations, and 1 person was arrested for felony warrants. You can help keep the roadways safe by calling 911 if you see a suspected impaired driver.
And now for something sweet. For many, the Christmas holiday is a time to get together with your family and enjoy food. In this week's All News Simply Sweet, 23 ABC's Allison Gargaro takes a look at some seasonal favorites. She will be walking us through how to make tamales. She will reveal her favorite sweet and salty holiday candies. And she will also be making her special peppermint cocktails. And of course, she's sprucing up a classic meat and potato dish. The Simply Sweet Holiday Special airs at 6:30 right here on 23 ABC.